everybody, and welcome to this playthrough for Pro Division in the Eastern 9-hole Cup. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and we're playing from the second tee here with the Southern Pines. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. You can become a master in this game and also get an advantage over your opponents in this tournament and the future tournaments by becoming a Patreon. Link to patreon.com/golfclashtommy is in the description down below. Follow the info box on the right hand side where you find the elevation for the drive for the second shot, but also what type of club and ball I feel is going to be very beneficial to play with. Getting a drop or two on this tough course called the Southern Pines is going to be huge, and you're going to see yourself being very high up on the leaderboard. In the end, let's go to hole number 1 and good luck in the tournament. For hole number 1, we are going to start with playing with an extra mile or Thor's hammer or Apocalypse, the driver that gives us the most distance. We will play an aggressive route here, meaning that we will be using overpower, trying to cross the water and the rough, and then bounce on the fairway, leaving ourselves up for a nice short iron towards the pins. There's two reasons why we do this. One, because the wind going towards the pin for the second shot is going to be very much close to straight tailwind. Two, the other thing is that we do not have time enough to dial in a different approach, so therefore we are playing a slight more aggressive approach from the start, giving ourselves a shorter club towards the pin and therefore a better chance to getting something extra. A berserker ball would be advised here if you do have some of them. If you don't want to use them or you don't have any, then a power 3 ball or a power 4 ball will still work. Shot number 2, we go with no elevation whatsoever here, and we're adjusting directly at the pin. Trying to, at least, because we don't have a fully developed ball guideline with the Thorn level 7, but trying to adjust directly at the pin, and then we're going to adjust for the distance the club is in, which in this case is medium distance of our club. Or at least that's what I judge it for. But you can also see that on the wind angle that I'm, having the wind angle pointing a little bit left to right. So I need to move and adjust a little bit more so the wind is, or like the wind arrow is straight. Because the thing that you're gonna notice is that I will be coming in nicely here. Like you will see like a good speed, but we'll miss to the right. And that is something that we do need to obviously compensate for. For hole number 2, we are using the sniper. Max side spin to the right, and then we are going to look for the second bounce. We do want the second bounce to be there, exactly there. So now when I move this one more to the left, it means that I will be missing this shot to the left, and that's something to have in mind. So in between the rough and the fringe is where we will be putting the second bounce. With a sniper level 9, plus 8-yard mark will be the maximum distance of our club here. And when you're playing with a sniper level 10, you need to have in mind that you need to replicate the position, which means that if you go up to plus 8 in sniper level 10, then that is going to be a little bit too little. We need to go that one to be plus 6 when it comes to sniper level 10. 10% over adjustment for the tee shot here, katana ball as well. Good chance for an hole in one. For hole number 3, we are going to play with the big topper as a driver. Use as much topspin possible. And then we're going to try to just align it there. We do have a lot of room on this fairway. Max overpower is what I would like you to play with when you go with max overpower is what I would like you to play with when using the big topper. As once again, even if you hit great left or great right, or even good left or good right, you will still stay on the fairway. We do want to gain as much distance possible. If you do possess a driver like the Extra Mile level 8, or maybe an Extra Mile level 8 plus, or Apocalypse level 5 plus, or Thor's Hammer level 6 plus, then I would actually think of staying with that type of club, as you get more distance with it, but not as much topspin, but that the distance will still be worth more than the topspin. But generally, the big topper is going to be played. Here, second shot, we're going to play this one with 4 bars of backspin, max side spin to the right. Once we have made the adjustment, we are going to push up if we do need to, meaning that, you know, you can see that I stretched up first to find my position. That extra ring is needed to push up once I'm done with my adjustment. No elevation for the second shot whatsoever. We bounce on the fairway and then we land ourselves nicely on the fairway here, but could easily be in the fringe of the green. No matter what, we're going to see this one as a pure eagle hole, nothing more than that. Hole number 4, and we're going to play with the white ring by the rough to the left with 4.5 bar topspin and 4.5 bar side spin to the right. You can play this shot as easily with a Titan as well, but as I do have a lot of kingmakers, I do feel the value in reducing the wind, especially for the second shot, and that's something that you could have in mind when you're playing this hole. Now, playing with the extra mile means that the rings are going to have a specific size. When it comes to playing with the Thor's Hammer or the Apocalypse, the size is going to be different. So you can't really use the white ring by the rough to the left as a reference if you're not using the extra mile. Now, when we have made the adjustment, we push up the club into max and then do, you know, after I've done a max distance with a 10% of over adjustment. No overpower, no underpower, no curl. And now it's very important that we take a note of the yardage that we're getting, because that is what we are going to refer to when it comes to our second shot, 384. Now we do get into maximum distance of our club here with the Goliath. And we're going to use, as you can see here, I'm using 2 top and then in the end 1 left spin. And I'm going to play this one maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and as you can see, the ball guideline is to the hole. The thing that we do need to think about when it comes to this club here as the Goliath is that the Goliath does not have a fully developed ball guideline, so we truly need to just see this as, when we play with Goliath level 7 or below, the ball guideline needs to be a little bit short of pin, like a 1.8 top spin or something like that. If we play with Goliath level 8 or level 9, we do have a better ball guideline, and then it would be value to have the ball guideline to the hole. Now you can see that when we do have 2 bars of topspin, the ball does not really curve down as it normally does, so we do need to reduce the topspin just a tiny little bit. Otherwise, I feel a max distance with a 10% over adjustment is actually a pretty good adjustment. For hole number 5, we are going to have actually a pretty decent opportunity. I decide to play on the island here, and the reason I do decide to play on the island is due to the fact that this will bring the best possible chance for an hole-in-one. Great left and a great right will still be fine, even though we play on a very thin fairway position. Now, I'm adding 3 bars of backspin, 4 bars of a left spin, and starting at plus 5 yard mark with the rock level 7. And then you can see the ball guideline making that little curve down the back end there, adjusting maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. And that is exactly what we're gonna do. And even though there was water there, we will not be pushing that one up whatsoever. The ball is going to bounce on the fairway nicely, and you can see here we get up to the top here and it will fall back down and getting nicely in for a hole-in-one. Getting this one to drop is a massive bonus. I do not expect this one to drop every time. For hole number 6, ladies and gentlemen, we will be attempting a power slice, and here we would attempt that with the quarterback. Why do we do with the quarterback? It's because it is a club that is very easy to just replicate the position. Here I'm using 4 bars of topspin, no side spin to the right whatsoever, and now I'm looking for my target to be pointed towards that little green bush. As you can see, the ball guideline is going through. I would strongly advise you to play with a berserker ball here to give yourself more distance and therefore more room when it comes to the trees. Now you could also see that I'm having a lot of tailwind here. Sometimes you will have a more angled, like a more angled wind pushing you, more right. And if you do have that, you need to move your target more left. That is something you have to spot yourself. And you may be wondering then, why do I suggest such a route when it's not, 100% safe or consistent? It's because, like, if we play that route, it will give us an opportunity from distance here with our long iron most of the times. But if we don't do that and we go left and lay up, or we go right and lay up, we have no opportunity whatsoever. So in this tournament, in the mini tournament, where we only have 2 rounds or maybe 3 rounds to play, 9 holes, we need to try to find a drop, try to find opportunities, even though they might not be that dialed in. 20% over adjustment is what I'm playing the second shot for. And once again, this one here is through the trees. Find the spot. It will be different from time to time. Make sure to be aware of the trees so you don't hit them. But if you don't go far enough to go past them, then we need to play through them. And in a worst case scenario, we will need to curl around them. So bouncing, getting it very close for an albatross. Good chance here on hole number 6. For hole number 7, we are going to play out to the right. It might seem strange, but this will honestly be the best way to make an eagle here from distance. We are going to play 2.5 bar topspin and then 4 bars of side spin to the right. Now, once it's time to adjust, we stretch out to the intended landing spot. Then we adjust maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and then it's time to take our shot. We hit the ball perfect, and you will see this ball bounce on the fairway over to the next fairway. Now it's very important to note down the yardage notes, or like the yardage. So the yardage that we are going to get is 357. From 357, we will be playing a long iron towards the pin. And here, the struggle part here is obviously that we do have a ball guideline that is not really, it is developed, but it's not fully developed, so we need to think about that. But my tip here for you is to use 2 bars of topspin and then 1 to 2 bars of side spin to the left, the ball guideline to the hole, and then from there we're going to then adjust 10% from whatever club distance we are at. So in this case, I will play this one 25% of my club. So in not minimum, not medium, not maximum, so 25% of my club, and then we're going to hit I'll take the shot, and you're going to see this ball bounce into the rough, get up to the green, and we get that nice little roll right at the pin for an eagle here on hole number 7. For hole number 8, we are playing with a quarterback and a navigator using 2.5 bar side spin to the left and 1 bar of backspin. Yellow ring by the bunker there to the left, and then we adjust minimum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Here you will notice that we come in way too hot, so I would advise you to use 1.5 bar backspin to avoid the glitch that we do have on green. And the reason I'm choosing this approach with the quarterback and not going directly to green is due to the fact that the rocket needs to be in level 10, otherwise we will not be able to use the backspin shot towards the pin. But if you do have a rocket level 10, I would advise you to go that way instead of bouncing before the bunkers. It will be much easier to get the birdie, but also you will have a little bit better chance for an hole-in-one. This is not a bad chance, but there is a risk with a great right here that you get yourself into the rough. For hole number 9, we are playing with the big topper. Max top spin and 1.5 bar left spin, and we're trying to gain as much distance as possible here. We will be playing with a berserker ball. Very important to have a power 5 ball. You can play with whatever power 5 ball you like, but it's very, very beneficial that we do have some wind as well to play with. Adjust for maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Once you are done, then we're going to push up our target into max. And then we need to go with a little bit of overpower. And have in mind, you can hit great left, great right, you will still be fine. And you can see that I'm using 1 ring of overpower, and I would like us to go with 3 rings of overpower here when playing with Big Topper level 5. If you have level 3, 2 or 1, go with a little bit more overpower than that. In the end, you know, it's not the end of the world to use the overpower that we did use now, because we still have no problem get the ball to green area, but the problem we you know, the advantage we can get by getting longer is that obviously the second shot is going to be even easier. So we're looking now for using topspin and side spin to get the ball to bounce into the rough and roll out towards the pin. The thing that we do need to have in mind as well is, like, do we really need to do this? Like, if you don't want to have a teeny tiny bit of chance of the albatross and also have a risk of with a great right to miss the rough and roll into the bunker on the back, then you play on the right side of that rough, just get it to green area, take the pot, make the eagle, which will be something that many players will miss when they are playing this one in the tournament. So you decide if you want to take that risk. I wanted to at least show you. And if you're going to play the rough bump, you need to have a little bit more topspin. You need to play with at least, you know, 6-7 bars of topspin, so you get the ball to have the speed rolling towards the pin. 5% over adjustment is what we're going to do for shot number 2. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Pro Division in the Easter 9-hole Cup. This is with a tournament win, and I hope this is going to be helpful. I do believe that we will see people win this tournament with a -13 and a -14 over 9 holes, because it's a tough one. Southern Pines is really difficult, and just an extra drop and getting the eagles on hole 3 and hole 9 especially is going to be huge. So make sure you follow the advice, and if you do want to get the notes, the text guides, that will be even a greater advantage for you, you subscribe to patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link in the description down below. Video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck in the tournament.